Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Good to have you to our fall opening convocation this morning. Thank you to Dr. Wanda Davis Freeman for making everybody feel welcome, to our presider today, Dean Jacob Butler. We have actually been working since August 17th, as a matter of fact. But students have been in classes since the 22nd of August. However, we normally mark the formal opening of a new year with a program that we call our opening annual convocation. And that brings us here this morning. So as president, let me welcome again all of you who are new to us and those of you who have been a part of the Morris College family for quite some time. We're looking forward to a fantastic new year as we get better and stronger as we move forward. Just before I present our speaker this morning, I want to ask again, if you will, I know they've traveled to be here and support him this morning, the family of Mr. Prince. Would you all stand up again? I know you've come from quite a distance to support him. We're so appreciative. I think some from New York, some from Atlanta, and other places to support our speaker this morning. And I know, again, his fraternity brothers have come from various places to support them also. But I also want to ask all of the classmates and those persons who were in high school and college with Mr. Prince, would you stand? All of his classmates. Thank you for coming this morning. He is a homeboy who has done extremely well. What we love to do at Morris College is bring back graduates, successful graduates, who have matriculated here and gone on to do wonderful and great things across our state, across our country. There are many, many successful graduates of Morris College. And particularly to our new members of our family, our freshmen and transfer students, we want you to be keenly aware of this, as many others are. So we're pleased to have this morning one of our own, Mr. Frederick Prince, who is the president and founder of Omega Financial and Insurance Services. He has traveled back to Morris College from California this morning to be with us. And so we've been asking him for a few years now to come back and speak to us. And so we finally worked it out on his schedule and an opportunity that is good and convenient for him. So we're pleased to have him this morning. And let me tell you a little bit about him before he comes to speak to us this morning. Mr. Frederick Prince, he was born in Bitburg, Germany, and moved to Sumter, South Carolina as a young child, where he graduated from Sumter High School. He is also, as I said earlier, a very proud graduate of Morris College, class of 1988. He graduated with honors with a Bachelor of Science degree in business with a concentration in accounting. While matriculating at Morris, he was honored to serve and be a 3-year starter as a member of the Hornets basketball team. He also was a member of numerous academic and social organizations at the college as a student, particularly Epsilon Lambda Chapter, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and many, many others. And he served as the Student Government Association president when he was a senior. Mr. Prince is proud that not only that he is a graduate of Morris, his mother, his father, his sister, and his brother are all graduates of Morris College. Mr. Prince has lived in Bakersfield, California, in that community for the past 27 years. And as I said, he is the president and founder of Omega Financial and Insurance Services there for the past 19 years. Omega Insurance Brokerage was established in the year 2000, and as I said, is celebrating its 19th year in business. Omega Insurance specializes in providing that community with insurance solutions to their auto, home, life, property, and business insurance needs. Mr. Prince has applied for certain over these years that part of the Morris College motto that says, "Depart to serve." He has been serving his community in these many years in various, not only in his work, but in various committees and boards he has served on in Bakersfield, California community. He has served as member of the City of Bakersfield Tax Oversight Committee. He was the past chairman of the City of Bakersfield Redevelopment Agency. He is also the past chairman of the Kern County Civil Service Commission for 12 years. He is also the past chairman of the Bakersfield Downtown Development Association. He's also served as chairman of the Kern County Black Chamber of Commerce, and he has served as a board member for the Small Business Development Center, as well as past Marcellus and founding member of the local chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. He's also served as a member of San Joaquin Lodge Number 11, California Free and Accepted Masons. And he is a member of Kane AME Church, where Dr. Tim Costin is the pastor. Mr. Prince has been married for 26 years to his wife Stephanie, and they are blessed with 3 lovely children, Joni, Zachary, and Braxton, and they've joined him here this morning. His hobbies include golfing, he's a golfer, traveling, basketball, and mentoring. Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to give one of our most successful graduates a very welcome home this morning as he comes to speak to us on this occasion, Mr. Frederick Prince.
Say that was a pretty long introduction, Dr. Staggers, but I do appreciate it very much. Enter to learn, depart to serve. I never realized those words would be so impactful in different stages in my life. You see, the opportunity to serve presents itself in some very unique situations. Just last night, I went to the local Walmart to pick up a few items because I always seem to leave something when I travel away from home. And a nice elderly lady was in front of me in the checkout line. Her bill came up to about $276, but her card was declined. So she looked through her purse and pulled out another card, but it was declined also. So y'all know what I did. An opportunity to serve. God gonna bless me one day for this, I know. It was a whole lot of groceries, but I helped that elderly lady put all those groceries back on the shelf. different ways to serve. Partner Nation, good morning. The presider, Dr. Butler, Dr. Staggers, president of this great institution, Dr. Ali, all the other dignitaries sharing this great stage today, faculty, staff, family, friends, and the celebrated today, you, the new and returning students. I would be amiss if I did not recognize a couple of people here today, and I appreciate those that have already been recognized. Usually I'm the one that normally gives all the surprises in my family, but this morning I was shocked and surprised by who was here this morning. And I was just asked if my family would stand again. My wife Stephanie, my son Braxton, my daughter Joni, my son Zachary. He surprised me, they all surprised me. I didn't know they were going to be here. My auntie Eleanor from Augusta, Georgia, her son Brian. And once you start calling names, of course you're going to miss someone. So with all my family that came here this morning, again, would you please stand? Randy, I see you, please stand. I just want to let you know that I love you and I appreciate you and all your support. You've been very impactful in my life. And there's so many others here this morning, my classmates from high school, my classmates from college, those that were friends with my father when he was here, those that were classmates of my mother when she was here. I want to say this, thank you for being here this morning. Again, good morning. Now, I realize you could have had and asked a spectacular orator to be here today to speak to you at this Fall Convocation. You could have asked some of the greatest preachers in the world who have stood behind this podium this morning to speak to you today. You could have asked some of the great politicians here in the state of South Carolina to speak to you today. You could have asked some of the great professors and administrators of this great institution to speak before you this morning. But you asked me, and I'm forever grateful, Dr. Staggers. But one of the things that Morris College has taught me is not to ask why me, but state why not me. When I was asked to serve on the Civil Service Commission in the city that I lived in, with over 500,000 people, I didn't ask why me. I said, why not me? When I was asked to serve on the Tax Oversight Committee and oversee over $80 million in distributions throughout the community, I didn't ask why me. I said, why not me? You see, Morris College instilled in me the words of the song from Kenny Burke that says, to always keep rising to the top. You see, a little over 30 years ago, I sat exactly where most of you are sitting. Some things have changed, some things have not changed. Heck, I still see even some of the same faculty and staff when I was here. But that's a good thing. We had 5 dorms on campus, a gymnasium that would hold about 100 people. Males lived in the male dorms. Females lived in the female dorms. Heck, we couldn't even go inside the female dorm rooms to visit. I guess some things don't change. But I probably would not be here today if it wasn't for President Dr. Lund C. Richardson, who was both a mentor and a friend. You know, a few times I should have been dismissed from this college when I was a student. But he had faith in me, and he had a strong belief that I could be successful. And I will always respect and love him for that. But this morning, that's a part of my story. That's a part of my song. I'm here this morning to talk about what your story is going to be. I'm here to talk about your song that you're going to be singing. Yeah. For you are the author and the finisher of your story. You control those 5 components that make up a story, which are the characters, the setting, the plot, the conflict, and the resolution. In your song, you are the producer, the writer, the singer, and the promoter. Matter of fact, you can even star in the video if you want to of your song. But you are in control of your song. You control those 7 elements of music. You control the tempo. You control the timbre, which is the quality. You control the melody, the rhythm. You control the harmony, the dynamics, and the form. Remember, your tenure here at Morris College will be your story. Your tenure here will be your song. Reminds me of that hymnal that we good Baptist folks should know. This is my story. This is my song. Praising my Savior all the day long. So when I was sitting where you're sitting today, I was thinking about 3 things. What am I doing here? What am I going to do while I'm here? And what am I going to be doing when I leave here? If any of you are wondering those same things, I hope it brings you comfort in knowing you are not alone. This ties in beautifully with our theme this morning. Excellence is achievable. Let's start, let's stay, let's finish. But when you think about starting, you may ask yourself, what am I doing here? If you do not remember anything else from this speech today, I want you to remember this. You are where you are supposed to be. Yeah. That means you have entered through these gates to learn. That means you have determined that an education is essential to the opportunities for success that you are seeking. Your tenure while matriculating here at Morris College will be some of the worst of times, and it will be some of the best of times. But remember, you came through these gates to rise up. You came through these gates to get up. You came through these gates to look up, to stand up, and to show up. So that means you can't, you won't, and you will not give up. But you do know, achieving excellence takes more than just closing your eyes and falling asleep. It takes a lot of work sometimes. And sometimes, things do not happen as quickly as you may want them to. When you ask yourself, what am I doing here? Think about the story of the Chinese bamboo tree. You see, Les Brown used to tell this story. He said, way over there in the Far East, they have a tree that's called the Chinese bamboo tree. This amazing tree is different from most other trees. It has similar characteristics as most plants. It has to be watered and fertilized on a regular basis. There is something, however, that makes this tree unique. While most trees grow steadily over a period of years, the Chinese bamboo tree doesn't break ground for the first 5 years. Then in the 5th year, a remarkable thing happens. The tree begins to grow at an astonishing rate. In fact, in a period of just 5 weeks, a Chinese bamboo tree can grow to a height of 90 feet. In life, you will have dreams that you will want to accomplish, and some people stop because they do not see immediate results. So remember, although that bamboo tree did not come out of the ground until 5 years, it would have died in the ground if it wasn't perpetually watered and nurtured. Now, I'm not encouraging any of you to be on a 5-year plan here at Morris College. I'm just saying that sometimes it takes time. Staying here, keep in mind Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, which says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. So when you think about staying here, you may ask yourself the question, what am I going to do while I am here? Sometimes you have to prune yourself. You may have to cut off a few branches or parts of your life that do not produce any fruit. Then you may have to prune those branches that bear fruit. Otherwise, hone in on your skills. Focus on the things that you do great. Sometimes, someone has to have those hard conversations with you, which may sound a little like this. If you are the smartest person in your group of friends, perhaps you may need to find some new friends. Most students fail in college, not because they aim too high and miss, but because they aim too low and hit. Perhaps you may want to consider that you be that student that you want other students to be. You be that roommate that you want other roommates to be. You be that friend that you want your friends to be. You be that leader that you want other leaders on campus to be. While you are here at Morris College, you will realize that hustle beats talent when talent don't hustle. Just like that group City Girls, I can put a period behind that, right? Let me say that again. Hustle beats talent when talent don't hustle. While you are here, just like that 13-year-old entrepreneur you see on commercials, that Trey Brown kid with his own clothing line called Spurgo. And he says, slow feet don't eat. Yeah. You see, if Gianasia Nathan had slow feet, she wouldn't be your SGA president. If Anya Wilson had slow feet, she wouldn't be Miss Morris College. If Raven Childs had slow feet, she wouldn't be on the stage today standing in for Anya Wilson. If D'Angelo Adams had slow feet, he wouldn't be Mr. Morris College. Now, if Kenton Kelly had slow feet, he would not be a White House Initiative Competitiveness HBCU scholar. So slow feet don't eat. So while you are here matriculating, you will understand the lyrics of 21 Savage even better with a little bit of reality. How many defeats will you have? A lot. How many friends will you lose? A lot. How many morning weekends will you have? A lot. How many grades you won't like? A lot. How many times will your friends get on your nerves? But one of the things I love about Morris College is that I know. And what I know is how much support will you get? A lot. How many people will be rooting for your success? A lot. How many long-term relationships will you make? A lot. How much does President Standish, faculty and staff of this institution care about your well-being? A lot. And how many times will you complain about the food in the cafeteria? So staying here is like planting your feet here. If I can share this with you. My son and I, we just invested a lot of money in a hemp farm in California. Of course, for medicinal purposes. Never thought I would be involved in farming, but I did not have to be a farmer to know that if I plant an apple seed, I can't expect a cherry tree to grow. But while you are planting here at Morris College, I do know that if you plant good study habits, good grades will grow. I do know if you plant responsibility, that good decisions will grow. I do know if you plant high expectations, great outcomes will grow. I do know if you plant pride in our school, then Morris College will grow. So when you keep planting, then things will keep rising to the top. But starting a race is easy. Finishing can be a little more challenging. But you do know that you are more than conquerors. You do understand our history. If not, let me give you a little reminder about perseverance. So, you mean to tell me that someone down your ancestry line survived being chained to other human bodies for several months in the bottom of a disease-infested ship during the Middle Passage, lost their language, their customs, and traditions, picked up the English language as best as they could while working free of charge from sunup to sundown as they watched babies being sold from out of their arms and women raped by ruthless overseers. Took names with no last name, no birth certificates, no heritage of any kind. Braved the Underground Railroad, survived the Civil War, entered into sharecropping, learned to read and write out of sheer will and determination, faced the burning crosses of the KKK, averted their eyes at the black hanging bodies swinging from ropes hung on trees, fought in world wars as soldiers to return to America as boys, marched in Birmingham, hosed in Selma, jailed in Wilmington, assassinated in Memphis, segregated in the South, ghettoed in the North, ignored in history books, stereotyped in Hollywood, and in spite of it all, someone in your family line endured every era to make sure that you could be here today. And you received one rejection, faced one obstacle, lose one friend, and you want to quit. How dare you entertain the idea of quitting? People that you never knew survived generation to generation so you could be successful in your life. Don't quit. Don't you dare let them down. So after you start, after you stay, then it's time to finish. So when you think about finishing, when you think about what lies ahead for you when you leave here, do realize it is Morris College's intent to prepare you for the next stages of your life. Make sure that you are ready for the challenges of this world, because the world will be waiting for you. Not only should you be proficient in math and science, etc., 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 but you should also understand about career paths, budgeting, finances, investing, importance in having good credit, resume building, interviewing, how to apply for mortgage loans, how to apply for auto loans, how to deal with college debt, and how to manage that. These things you need to be ready for and prepared for when you leave, and when you leave Morris College. An old African proverb says, only a fool will test how deep the water is with both feet. I'll say that again. Only a fool will test how deep the water is with both feet. In other words, be prepared. Because of my background in business, I think it is appropriate for me to share something with you this morning. I would like to share with you the 7 money and ownership lessons from the late Nipsey Hussle. The 7 money and ownership lessons by Nipsey Hussle. Number 1, on Hustlenomics. You learn all the secrets to the game on your way up. Most folk want to skip the process. When you skip steps, you miss the lessons. On 2, on turn up versus own up. It isn't cool to be in the club spending all of this money or having cars and jewelry, but do you own any real estate? Do you own any fourplexes? Do you own any commercial property? Nipsey said if the answer is no, you're not a real hustler. Number 3, entrepreneurship. The new mindset is we don't want advances, but we want equity. We don't want one-off endorsements. We want ownership. Black capital, number 4. The business models are built around our cultural currency. You see, if they develop the platform, they implement the structure, and they bring us in to raise the value. Number 5, on breaking the chains. See, own the supply chain from production to consumption. People take shots at Jay-Z, but he's the first black artist to have a vertically integrated business model where he owns the whole chain. Number 6, on creating value. Nipsey said, I released 100 mixtapes and charged $1,000 each because I understood the scarcity of the economic principle of scarcity. The profit funded my independent label. And number 7, on owning real estate. Nipsey said, I own the block where I used to hustle from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. I hustled, then I rented, now I own. So those are the 7 money and ownership lessons I wanted to share with you this morning. from Nipsey Hussle. So as you drive towards your finish line, you may discover that the fastest route may not always be the quickest path. Imagine this. You put an address into your GPS system. Although you may already know how to get there, but the GPS have you going in a different direction to get to your destination, and you cannot figure out why. Well, imagine that the G in GPS systems stands for God. Instead of a global positioning system, it stands for God's positioning system. And that God could be taking you a different path, although you know a way shorter. But perhaps he is taking you a different way because God saw a few hazards up ahead that you did not see. Perhaps God saw a few distractions that he wanted you to avoid. Perhaps he saw a few potholes that would have caused you a few issues that he wanted to protect you from. But know, if you are following God's GPS, he will make sure you reach your final destination. So in closing this morning, Kenny Burke originally sung the song, and some of you may have heard the Dougie Fresh remix. But a few of the verses say, let's start thinking about what we're doing. Don't let nothing change your mind. Keep on believing. All the dreams inside of you, keep on believing. And don't stop achieving. Keep on giving all you got. Give it all you got. Ain't no half step. We won't let nobody stop, for excellence is achievable. Let's start, let's stay, let's finish. Hornet Nation, let's keep rising to the top. Thank you.
Very well done, right? All I have left to say behind that, I'm going to let that stand for itself. Just say once again, thank you, Ms. Prince, for coming back to us this morning to help us kick off this new academic year. Thank you for inspiring us. Thank you for your wisdom. And thank you for motivating us this morning. Particularly, I saw our freshman class was very attentive in listening to you. But also, most of all, thank you for being an example, a living example, a model of what Morris College produces. And by extension to our freshmen and all of our students, that everything you need to be successful is right here, right now. Thank you again. We are officially now into our 2019-2020 academic year. Let's have a great year.
May the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, be with you all, both now and forevermore. Amen.